Breaking news, my country people. Tinubu is ready to fire any minister who doesn't perform. Guys, this is coming from the presidency, my country people. Now, the special advisor to the president on media and publicity has said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not afraid to fire any minister who doesn't perform in his or her duties. He said this during an interview on Monday, via Channels Television. And according to Ajiri, before he appointed his ministerial cabinet, the president had commissioned several reforms committees across all sectors of the economy, and so the ministers already had set benchmarks that they must achieve within the set timeline. He stated further that these benchmarks must be met, and the president is willing to ensure he oversees the achievements recorded by his ministers against these benchmarks. Following what Njila highlighted about the Reform Committee report, recall that in June 2022, it was reported that the Energy and the Natural Resources subcommittees of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Advisory Council recommended some changes to the oil and the gas sector. Some of them included the target of 40 million barrels per day production capacity and others. Also, in August, Armstrong, the chief executive officer at the Nigeria's Ministry of Finance Incorporated, confirmed that the government is considering selling stakes in the NNPCL and other entities in the country, as the ministry is considering options, including strategic sales and initial public offerings, and aims to implement the plan within 18 months. Also, the Ajiri said that President Tinubu is committed to being the president who will implement all these policies. According to him, the fact that there are now more ministers doesn't change the fact that the president is willing to cut governance costs. He stated that Tinubu gave each minister one critical sector or crucial sector to handle, unlike the past when some ministers had 2 or 3 portfolios. So even now, there is no excuse for failure. So my country people, this is it. Tinubu is not giving any room for failure, and Tinubu is not afraid to fire anybody that doesn't deliver, albeit Nyesom Wike, because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reviewed his expectations from the newly appointed ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has stated that failure would not be tolerated under his watch, and every sector must be held accountable, and this is how it would be. Even David Umahi, Nyesom Wike, and other newly inaugurated ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they all have a big responsibility on their shoulders, not only to meet the expectations of the people, but also that of the president. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has set clear goals for each sector in the country and will not tolerate failure from either of his recently inaugurated ministers. This is coming from the presidential spokesman, Ajiri, and had disclosed this on Monday, August 28. The presidency noted that the former Lagos State governor, who is the president, will not hesitate to fire any minister who underperforms in the ministry assigned, adding that failure on the minister's part is a failure on Tinubu's part, and Tinubu wouldn't hesitate to impose sanctions on those persons. And yes, Nyesom Wike too has also said he will hit the ground running and has urged other ministers to do the same. They should all hit the ground running, just like the president, had done. And Tinubu said Nigeria needs to be focused, cooperation of the private sector leaders. I mean, everybody, or all hands needs to be on deck. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? I really feel that yes, each ministers to their portfolios and all, but they should as well be held accountable for their actions and what they are doing in office, including David Umahi, Nyesom Wike, and other ministers. There should be no room for dulling. There should be no room for, backwardness. There should be no room for giving excuse. There should be no room for all of that. Each and every one of them would be held accountable for everything they are doing. So they should beware, and they should focus on the work that they are there to do, because Nigerians is watching. People are already criticizing Tinubu's cabinet, that Tinubu recruited a lot of ministers. He brought in a lot of ministers, even when he said he wants to cut down the cost of governance. How can he do so with all these ministers? Well, we hope that in as much as their numbers are large, they should as well contribute to the growth and the development of this nation. Well, my country people, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has also stated he is not afraid to fire any minister who doesn't perform his duties. It doesn't matter if you go around shouting, oh, you will do well, you will do well. At the end of the day, you are not doing anything, or you didn't do anything. Nyesom Wike, who is going around claiming he will demolish buildings in Abuja. Well, I hope Nyesom Wike would really work well and deliver well for Tinubu, because Tinubu wouldn't hesitate to, sack any of them if they would fail, or if they should fail in their field. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you. Bye for now.